shit up. Then spend it, it's nothing, okay. We gon' run that shit up. Run that shit up. Then spend it, it's nothing, okay.
Y'all know what it is, the real Two Tech.
And your man, Marathon Man.
All praise to God.
For everything, and I mean everything.
And this is another episode of The Real. And tonight, y'all, we got a special guest in the house tonight. I ain't seen him about 2-3 years, so I don't weather. Yeah, man, you go by the name of G, man. I'm talking about special guest, man. So before we start every interview, we always gotta do that mental health check-in. How you feeling, G, mentally, man?
Mentally, I'm blessed. You know, I couldn't be in a better space than I am today, and it's just a blessing to be here with y'all. It's like family to me, so I'm about to have a good time.
Yeah, respect. How about you, Mr. Marathon? How you doing, bro?
Hey, listen, I put 2 words together right here: blessed and busy.
Respect that.
Listen, if you ain't busy, you ain't knowing nothing.
I'm telling you,
you gotta stay busy, and you gotta thank your. Man, be thankful for your blessings, you know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
Count your blessings. How you feeling, bro?
Like I always say, I've been saying this every episode, man. We at 43 now. Listen, I put my 2 feet on the ground as a win. I can't complain, but ain't nobody gonna listen anyway. So I'm just blessed. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes,
big facts. So this is a question we ask every guest. Who are you and what do you stand for?
I'm Gianni, aka G. I stand for Yeshua Yahweh Yahu. I'm a soldier for him.
Yeah, respect. Yahweh.
Just everything about me, I just represent life, you know, the journey, the process, growing, loving, you know, giving back, and just appreciating life for what it is. So, kind of what I stand for.
Respect. I like that, man. I like that. Yeah,
man. Give us a background as far as your upbringing, where you from, you know what I'm saying, where your family from, how you guys came up, you know what I'm saying?
All right, man. From 25, that's King Square Apartments in Landover. Growing
Landover.
up, growing up, my mom used to say like we was rich for the hood. So my mom she had me real young at 15 years old. But she always carried herself like an individual who was 40, 50. You know, I would have thought my mom was already aging. You know. Then, you know, times got rough, you know, the recession, she had my little brother, so she kind of went through some things, so life started to hit, and once life started to hit, I really started to have my mom back in certain instances, and over time, you know, her being so young, it's hard out here, so she was just trucking, so life would be up, life would be down, life would be up, life would be down, but through the whole process, I always knew I was protected. So leading up till about middle school, I was real heavy into like the hood. I love my hood. I still love my hood. I'm from 25, but I don't bang it as much as I used to. And then I actually got shipped to VA. When I went to VA, I played football out there my 9th and half of 10th grade year. And that's kind of when I started to see myself change and start to see the influence that I had around people. You know, like for instance, it was a dude named Josh. I don't like to use the word. You could tell he wasn't as normal as everyone else. You know, he had special needs, and he used to sit by himself. So I used to start sitting with him because, you know, everybody at the school already loved me. You know, I was a football figure, everybody around the town, newspaper articles, all of that. So I began to sit with him. And then after that, I just slowly started to see everyone in school embrace him. And from that time on, I kind of knew, like, nah, you special. You know, you got something to you that people like really embrace. So I moved back home. So coming back home, everybody there kind of like treated me like a superstar. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like a star. And coming back home, you know, DC, PG, the DMV area, you know, but it's not like that small town love. And everybody always recognized me for being 2'5". And it was like a big transition because I knew who I was and who I was trying to become, but people also recognized me for who I was back then and the stuff that I was doing. So it was a lot of battles within myself to really be like, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change for nobody, you know. And over time, you know, it became natural. And then about 2019 December, I had a dream, and this when I started to know that like I had visions and signs from the man above, and he showed me like clear waters, and clear waters mean bright future ahead. And then out of nowhere, it was storms, and it means tough times is ahead. And I had the vision of a podcast, so I started my podcast. UpNext podcast, go check us out.
Shout it out.
And then with my podcast came opportunities. that I couldn't imagine. Like the first 2 months of starting the podcast, we was backstage with DC Young Fly. Had interviews with Red Grant. Traveling the world for free, like just opportunities just coming in my way.
Respect.
But along the journey, there was a lot of downs that a lot of people would say that a lot of people couldn't get through. And I'll touch on those like a little bit later as I get more and more comfortable with telling those things. But it was a journey, it was a process, and it was a test of my faith. And it just leads up to everything that I'm doing today. So.
Big fact. God damn, hey, that was a whole lot of fact. You went straight in, man. Articulate brother, man.
Real articulate.
So talk about your football career, man. How much does football mean to you still? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you try to do with football?
So with football, it was more so like I started to study and I started to learn, and then I was a natural leader without even having to voice my voice, if that makes sense.
Big fact, I get what you're saying.
Just the way I carried myself on the field, just the way I practiced, just the way I prepared, I was a natural leader. Everyone knew that around me. So when it was time to get busy, it was time to get busy. And it just played. Football just kind of like I translate football to like life. You're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs, and you're gonna have your journey. The journey is practice. Without practice, you're not performing on game day. Well, let me not lie, cause it was only 1 year that I actually did summer workouts, and that was the first year that I did first team all county, first team all state in Virginia. But every other time I literally had one practice, one scrimmage, and I was starting. So not to flex a little bit.
Sometimes you gotta flex, you know what I'm saying? Humbly confident.
But the game of football just always been around me. The opportunity that I did with the Commanders, I did a tailgate show last year. It led the doors to the deal that I have with Next Level, which I'm extremely grateful for.
For sure, I like that.
Let's talk about the podcast, man. When did you start it?
It was 2020. I started September or October, literally September or October of 2020. I just remember I used to watch The Breakfast Club a lot. That was kind of like my inspiration. But then I got into like Joe Rogan podcast, and then I started to see him have conversations with different people. He didn't allow himself to stick to one topic, and I kind of loved it. I can share a quick story with y'all, and I'm not gonna say I turned down the deal, but I turned down the opportunity to work with HBCU Plus with my podcast because I didn't want to limit myself, and that's kind of because it would stop and hinder you from doing what you really need to do on your mission. So just going back to 2020 when I started it, I just had the idea and I just ran with it.
Respect.
How was it like setting up, like figuring out like the whole setup of how you was gonna do your podcast? Because sometimes that's not the easiest thing. Like when me and Two Tech, we started off the MacBook.
I'm telling you.
Working, we just now investing in equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So ironically, I started to research the equipment ahead of time, so I was piecing it together way before I started. But in terms of a location, I don't have the fancy nice stuff like y'all. But in terms of location, I literally started in one of my friends' apartments, and then my other friend's basement. Literally, like we was filming in the basement, thugging it out.
It's something weird, man. It's all about starting, man. That's awesome.
So, what is your podcast about for the people that don't know?
Originally, I couldn't answer that, but recently, it's a lifestyle podcast. Everything UpNext represent is a lifestyle. It's just about the journey of people. Everyone has a story, and sometimes people are afraid to tell their story because they think they're not here, or nobody will listen to them. But it's literally been times where I had posted some content that I didn't even want to post. It had like 25 views on it, but somebody actually a couple people DM like, I needed this message. And sometimes it starts with two. It starts with two that turns into many, or starts with one that turns into many. And most times one person can change your life. So I mean, everybody just been supporting me, everybody appreciate what I did, so.
Big facts.
So with this, I don't want to fast forward it, but what I have the question on my mind is, you started this tailgate show with the podcast, right? And I was following it because, I ain't gonna lie, y'all listen, born and raised in DC by default, I'm a Washington fan of everything, right?
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the fence with the Commanders right now. I hope y'all hear this, because y'all gotta get y'all ish together.
And you get listen. I'm interviewing Greg Williams. He was the former defensive coordinator, so they gonna see this. They gonna see this.
Y'all gotta get it together, man.
Dallas Cowboys, man. Come on, we don't do
I'm
no
saying,
Commanders.
nah.
I'm about to kick you off the podcast.
You know, we take over.
Better square back.
Take over.
DC, Dallas Cowboys.
So the thing is, like, so I was following it, man, and I was liking what you was doing, man. It looked real fun and whatnot. What inspired that right there? Like, was it your love for football already? You know, you being a fan, you already going to the games, or what? Like, what came the idea?
Ironically, I had a vision.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
It started with a thought, and I said, why not? You know, that's all I can really say. It was really just an idea. I said, you know what? I like sports. I'm gonna get season tickets anyway. I might as well start a tailgate show. Literally just a thought, and I did it.
Smart move.
Let's take a quick little second right there, just, you know, for the people that's listening and watching it, man. That's a lesson right there, man. Everything starts with a thought, and I've said this before a lot of times, but it starts right here, and it starts to manifest. You just gotta believe in it. You gotta, like, really cultivate that thought in your mind and put yourself to it. So,
And then
take notes.
that opportunity, that tailgate show,
Yeah.
led to one of the biggest opportunities that I ever had in my life.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
So through the tailgate show, I actually I had my first 2 sponsors. Shout out to the Elite Kids and shout out to Corner Water.
Okay.
Shout out.
I appreciate them so much because it was at a time where last year I felt like I couldn't accomplish anything. So when I started, it gave me a sense of purpose, sense of direction again. And then you know what we do, sometimes you could do it for free, or you could be blessed to get paid to do what you do. And those 2 companies really helped me help me and assist me in a way where I'm like, nah, I know what I'm doing. You know, and they gave me an opportunity to promote their brands, promote what they do. I started to get paid from it, and then that led into Next Level. So Next Level is a unique platform. It allows student athletes, student athletes and professional athletes to earn NIL deals, extra opportunities, and you know, ultimately another revenue stream of income for even like podcasts, regular students. It's a dope app. And recently I've been blessed to control every high school in the country, and that's my position to sign them up on that app.
Damn.
Man,
Man, right here. Shout out to G.
Oh man, that's some big stuff right there. Every
Next level, right? Next level.
Really next level.
Next level, man. So, G, I don't know if you remember, we were down here last time, man. We had a intense convo, man. We ain't gonna lie, man. It was a long time ago, but we had a intense convo where you was talking about how you was speaking at the courthouse about community activism and all the other stuff, right? So talk about how did you get into that field, man? Like community activism and speaking at the courthouse. How did you start doing that?
Ironically, it came from a disaster in my life. So something happened with a family member that ultimately impacted me on the back end that I had nothing to do with, but it led me to be in a perfect situation that I didn't think I would necessarily be in. And just to speak in front of all of those people and just to get the respect from you know, the older generation, the younger generation, and people actually listening to you, and you commanding the respect of, you know, the room, and you really making change. That was probably one of the biggest moments for me in terms of like, okay, like you can really have impact. I actually helped assist. I actually helped raise $1.8 million for COVID relief funds for rental assistance.
Shout out to that, man.
Yeah.
That's a flex right
Next level right there,
That's a
man.
flex
Next
right
level
there.
for real.
And
For
just,
real.
I think it was 1.8, 1.5. I'm gonna get the article, but
Hey, anything past $1 million is crazy.
man,
Hey, you a part of that too, man?
yeah,
man.
and
Yeah,
just
bro.
speaking up and having a voice and just having the courage to speak, because sometimes, you know, we all somebody, you know, but sometimes you can feel like a nobody compared to people that have certain titles.
For sure.
And just to stand toe to toe and really, you know, be like, nah, I am who I am. You know, it was one instance, and I'm pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure. I don't know what he was trying to do. A gentleman on at the table was telling me, you know, he said, I advise you to get out there with the people and really start giving back, because that's what we do. And I had to stop him, like, You don't even know, we just helped over 200 families with Thanksgiving. I passed out over 1,000 book bags, and we hosted Christmas drives. You know, in that moment, I found myself defending myself, but it made me realize, like, nah, G, like, you really that dude. You know, like, you really him. And we all individuals that can make change, especially if we come together and we really support one another. So, yeah, that's how that
Shout out to Jared, man. That's inspirational right there. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got that.
Let me ask you this though, G. How old are you?
25.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. What's your excuse?
Nah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck is your excuse, man?
But I also say this though. I recognize that the position that I'm in, whether good or bad, is also a blessing, because not everybody gets the same opportunities that I'm getting at such an early age.
Big facts.
And sometimes people work their butt off in life and still don't get the opportunity, you know? So on one end is like, you have no excuse to go out there and go get it. But on the other hand, I know that Yeshua Yahweh, the Creator, gave me a task that I may not all the way know what it is, but I know He gave me a vision, He gave me a drive, He gave me a purpose to spark change. And just with that, I'll never take anything that I'm doing for granted. So while I can sit up here and be like, we did it, you know, it feels good, but it's like, that was just a part of the mission. That was a part of His journey. He just placed me there.
Oh, praise to God, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
God, man, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful message right there.
Telling you, bro, inspirational for real, man.
I appreciate it. And then, you know, a lot of people, I'm not gonna lie, like this past year I just been like working, stand down, chilling with my girl, you know, embracing my family a little bit more. And you know, a lot of people have been coming up to me and just telling me like how much they're proud of me and what they see what I'm doing. And you know, like, you know, you start to feel yourself a little bit, you know, you start to feel good.
I can sit there and attest to that, man. I'm a witness of it, because the other day we was watching the Canelo fight, man. We pulled up to the same party. Shout out to E2, man.
Shout out E2, man. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, so
man.
E2 was hosting a fight party slash housewarming?
Yeah, housewarming
party, man. So I seen G. I was in there before G, man, and G walked in, man, and like some of his old friends, maybe from school and whatnot. Like, man, they were just excited, like, man, you know, like just, man, it was a beautiful thing to see, like, man, that's when you working, when you grinding, bro, like people recognize it. You know what I'm saying? But you don't gotta do it for the recognition.
Exactly.
Shoot, speaking of that, let me tell you another crazy story. So I recently, with Next Level, I was working with Grambling. That's how I got to interview Coach Hugh Jackson. On my way back from Grambling, I had a layover flight in Atlanta, and ironically, I messed my toe up messing with my boy Chance. I messed my toe up, so I was limping in the airport. You know, Atlanta airport, biggest on the
one of the biggest airports,
man.
Bro.
I had to get on the train, right, and go to the last motherfucking stop on the train limping. My plane was about to take off in like 2 minutes. I shit you not. So my little limping ass was running and shit, trying to get up there, and I was entering the plane. And this is why I say life is so crazy. I was entering the plane, and it was a gentleman and a lady. And I was like, man, y'all was about to leave me, right? They said, nah, we'd never leave you. You a superstar. I'm like, nah. She was like, nah, you a superstar. Just remain humble. And they never seen me like a day. And that was, I feel like that was a sign from y'all to just be like, nah, like you it. You know what I'm saying? But just
that's
remain
a testimony
humble.
right there.
Man, that's your
you him, man.
I feel good. I was getting out of plane like But listen, you wanna know the most beautiful part about returning though? All of that was good. That's when I knew it was real. When I came back and I was flying over DC and I recognized how like beautiful the area actually really is compared to like other places in the world. And I got off the plane and I got to see my girl. Bro, it felt so surreal. Like it felt so surreal. And I always pray and I always say like, all that fame and all of this stuff is good, the glitz and glam and the glory and all that stuff, that stuff cool, but like embracing your people and really like loving the people that you get to share life with, like even just sharing this, like just y'all platform, but y'all invite me on just to experience this, bro, is a blessing in itself. So it's like, that's what I look forward to the most, and I want the younger generation, when we all continue to grow, to know that like life is bigger than just the glitz and the glamour. It's really about sparking change, embracing your people, and just enjoying the journey for real.
That was real,
and sparking inspiration, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. For sure.
Nah, y'all do. I said the moment I get a little buzz, I'm hitting y'all up. I wasn't even lying. I said this is the first place I stopped, because like y'all don't even know what y'all doing. Well, y'all y'all do know.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say y'all
sure.
don't know. Y'all do know what y'all doing, but the consistency and like the growth and like not giving up, because this is hard. You know, like this
easy,
isn't
bro.
easy.
It's not
This
easy.
isn't
No.
easy.
Consistency is the key, man.
Y'all stay so consistent. I'm like, I'm like, I wish I was as consistent as y'all, you know, dropping every week and just scheduling stuff out. So it's like, I knew this was the first place that I wanted to go once, you know, I had eyes on me, you know, because we all deserve this. Y'all deserve this. So.
That's beautiful, man. We appreciate that for sure.
So you talked about your girl, man. Talk about your relationship and talking about like, cause you know a lot of people want relationships. No matter if we say man, fuck a female, but
and
talk
we
about
in this era
you know what I'm saying?
of the
Ain't
battle
no
of
real
the sexes.
exactly, bro.
There's
You know,
nothing in harmony nowadays.
Exactly.
So
Feminist and all that type of stuff. So talk about what your girl mean to you, man. Talk about that.
Man, our relationship to start out wasn't. It was always great. We started off as friends. You know, it was certain things and certain people that we knew were like mutual, and like we didn't want to hurt nobody in the process of doing anything. But like once you sit back and you realize like a person really got your back, like it just makes you want to give them everything. Like I lost my car last year. I'm gonna show y'all my car that I just purchased too.
Okay, reach back.
I lost my car last year. I lost my car last year, and like it was a struggle, but she came and picked me up every single day to make sure like my business was afloat. And that's not the thing that made me realize that like I want to marry this girl. And I told her I wasn't gonna say it until we got married, but you know what? Since we on a real, I'm gonna keep it real.
I respect that, man.
It was right before the Grambling trip. She put me a list of like toiletries and stuff, and at the end of the list of toiletries, it was Benadryl, because on the last trip I broke out and had like allergic hives. So that just made me look and like, nah, this person really paid attention to me, like they got my best interest outside of just the day-to-day life.
No question.
And like just knowing that, I was like, yeah, she can get whatever she wants. She can get whatever she wants.
We gotta clap that up, man. Real talk, man.
that's
Real
beautiful, man. That's a beautiful thing to have.
And then it's
Shout out
like a
to y'all.
partner, you know, like it's a partner. Like it's bigger than just the day-to-day interaction, or like, you know, we're not gonna say sexual interactions, or you know, we can't really sit down and have intellectual conversations. When it's time for business, she right there every step of the way. Like I had a long, busy work day. She makes sure she's available for me, even if she don't want to, and that doesn't go unnoticed. You know, and especially because I'm still grinding. It be days I be working from like 7 to 12, shit like you know, and she makes me want to give her time. You know, so. I just embrace it, and it's fun. You know, you really got a best friend and partner, and like.
Shout out.
I love to hear that.
That's a blessing.
Yeah,
real talk, man. Real
beautiful,
talk.
man.
Yeah,
Beautiful, man.
It's
my dog. So let's. I mean, what do you see? You see the podcast going? What do you? Not just the podcast, because I know someday it's gonna be more than just the podcast, bro. Like we don't serve a purpose, like one purpose.
Yeah,
I feel like we serve many purposes, but we tap into one thing and become great at it, and keep going from there. So what do you see, you know, yourself doing? I'm not even gonna put a time limit on it. Just, you know, what other visions you have that you believe in.
With the high school project that I've been blessed to do with Next Level, I really want to help the younger kids and provide opportunities for them. You know, there are opportunities inside of high school, but you really start to tap into the kids and see how talented they are, and then you start opening up avenues. You know, the more you expose to something, the more you're not going to want to go back to the dumb stuff. So I really want to spark change in that. With the podcast, you know, I'm one of those people that, ironically, like I'm cool on camera, but I really don't even like to put myself out there. Like I really like to get to the nitty gritty of work. You know, like I really don't even care, but to be seen. But the podcast afforded me so many opportunities that it would be dumb to let that go.
Big fact.
You know, and eventually, you know, I look at the podcast as like courage, because it takes courage to get behind, you know, the camera and articulate yourself and put stuff out for the world to see and the world to judge. You know, and I don't care for opinions, but I also know that, like, hey, you know, if I'm intentional in what I do, and if it has a purpose behind it, it can spark some real change. So I like the podcast. I was going through the tailgate show with the Thursday night game, but we got blown out, so I'm glad I didn't.
Hey,
glad
bro.
I didn't. You know, and I've been
First 2 quarters, I was like,
man,
cut it.
first drive, I was like, damn. And I just UpNext is just a total lifestyle brand because me and my girl have a photography company together. I'm into the fitness world. Like I train, but I do lifestyle training. I don't do like too much hardcore training. So I just literally like UpNext. Whatever I did in life, that's what UpNext represents. So
Man, I love
that's just
that.
what it is.
That's kind of like around what I was talking to you about yesterday. When we was sitting there rapping, bro, and I'm just like, listen, I want like, however I'm making a living, I want it to revolve around my lifestyle. I want to love what I'm doing and like, never feel like I'm working. You know what I'm saying? What you just described that's what it sounds like, bro.
Nah.
You gotta put the work in, though. Don't give me too much.
Gotta grind.
You know,
the biggest blessing in the world is I can literally wake up, I can go sit my ass at Starbucks or Chick-fil-A and be working, but be at so much peace because I'm in control of what my day-to-day actions.
Big facts.
That's like one of the biggest blessings in the
what
world.
you gotta do.
Man, and when I quit my job in 2021, I'm gonna give y'all the video.
Yeah.
I was so scared leaving that consistent funds,
Big facts.
but it made me grow up and made me turn into a man and start to look at my habits and stuff like that. And it made me realize, like, nah, you a go-getter, show.
Yeah,
You a go-getter, show.
I'm telling you, man.
But I love waking up just to embrace what I do. I love every single thing that I do, no matter how frustrating it is. I say it's a good frustration because I just got to think my way through it, and keep going and expanding my knowledge.
Big fact. Damn, man.
Man, special.
I'm telling you, man, very special, man. So, what keeps you motivated, man? Because for your age, you got a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
But what keeps you motivated and inspired every day to keep going harder, man?
The people around me, like everyone, like even y'all, and like I want to retire my mom. Like I want it to be to the point where like my mom never has to work again. I already tell my girl like the only way she's working is if she want to work. You know, like, and I want to open up doors and opportunities that I was blessed to have for others. You know, and I tweeted all the time, and even when we was on vacation, I said all the time like, nah, when we go on vacation, I want all my people to come. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to the games, I want all my people to come. I want to celebrate and embrace life with all my people. So just waking up every day and knowing the change that I can have, knowing the change I will do. You know, that right there.
For sure.
It's bigger than anything that I can ever imagine. Any dollar sign, like I already tell my girl, we get the money. She gonna be in control of it for real, because money don't move me. I want it.
Yeah, of course, we need that. Yeah, we need that.
But money don't move me. It don't make you happy. No matter how much you chase, no matter how much you want, it don't make you happy. That does not mean don't go maximize it. It don't move me.
Purpose.
The purpose.
And that's what gives you satisfaction to keep going. Like everything, like especially for me. Just having the right people around you. Sure. And another reason why I say I love my girl, not to keep bringing her up, but like times where I was questioning myself and she was like, I had nothing. She looked at me like, you almost there, why you quit? Boy, I said, God. Like just to have that person like and still like, no, you that dude, like why you quit? It just drove me even more, and just to know like my people around me.
They care about you.
It's one
got
thing.
Your back.
It's one thing when you believe in yourself, but it's a whole nother thing when you got people that believe in you,
I'm
bro.
telling you, like a whole nother beast in you, man. You go like this. Don't talk about through the roof. You know what I'm saying?
And more and more recently, like it's been like you're saying, it's been picking up. Like people be like, bro, I'm glad I met you. I be like, what? Like it's just regular me, like. But people see it, and like I'm appreciative, but I also know that like I can't get caught up in too much of that.
Yeah,
I gotta stay
we
focused.
just talked about that yesterday.
I was just telling them like somebody recognized random as hell. I walk in like a dispensary, right? Lady that's running the joint, she like, you the podcast guy. I'm like, huh? Like I was caught up, guys.
Yeah, that's a great sign.
It's a good feeling, it's a good feeling, but you can't get caught up in it. You
gotta stay humble, bro. You gotta stay humble, grateful, and prayerful, bro. Keep moving, bro. Every single day, because we all got the moments in life we're like, damn, man, I'm doing it, but you gotta remember, like, look where I came from. So always forget where you come from. Because you get where you come from, that's when the bullshit start happening in your life. So stay prayed up and keep working.
And then I be getting reminders like out the random just from anybody. Like I said, that playing experience when the ladies like you a superstar but remain humble, like that in itself was just
that's the universe, man.
Yeah.
That's God. That's the universe talking to you. Like it's right there, confirmation.
Big
You know what I'm saying? It just happens, bro.
I'm telling you.
Sometimes you need that reminder,
Yeah.
and it comes from the most random places ever. You wasn't expecting that, bro. You thinking the people's about to leave? You're like, nah.
Yeah, we wait
You
for
this
you.
guy.
I'm telling you, come on, man. You got your own
This
brand.
plane was not taking off without you, my boy.
I can't lie though. Like the more and more we start going places, like so you know I'm in charge of signing up like high schools. We went to a St. Francis game. Shout out to my boy. I don't want to forget your name. We'll say it wrong on camera. But City to City, DMV City to City. I think that's his Instagram name. You know, just having access to certain places that I don't necessarily want to have access to, and getting there for free. Like, nah, these my people, and then my girl being right there with me. That should be really tight.
That's how I felt. Dump y'all when I took my son in there.
Yeah.
Like we in the whole event, it just felt amazing. Like, man, we got in here for free.
Shit, can I ask you a question though?
Shout out.
You how old were you when you had a kid?
Man, I had just turned 18. My son was born. I turned 18, and a month later he was born.
How was that transition period? Because your viewers know your story. How was that transition period to really growing up and seeing him growing up?
Man, well, I mean, like it was just like I didn't have no time to grow up. It was I had to be on top of it. Like, you know, like one thing about it, and shout out to my dad about this, was like as soon as I knew I had a baby on the way, I was like, it just put this sense of responsibility on me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so from the day that he was born, it's like that was my purpose.
Yeah.
Is taking care of him and stuff. Like, you know, you young, so you lost for real. Like I didn't know what the hell. Like I didn't know what I was doing, bro. But I was just there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that mattered, was like I was there and I gave him as much love as I could. You know what I'm saying? Of course, like how my life played out. Even then, like, you know, when I was away, giving them love, calling them, writing them letters, seeing them on visits. Like my son always knew who dad was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like that's the best
little
thing.
you.
And
And then even you, shoot, I seen you drop the book.
Oh yeah.
And I wish it was here. I asked for it to be here.
Oh
I wanted to see
my
it.
bad. That was fresh.
What sparked you to write your book?
Man, to be honest, I always been a writer since I was like in the first grade. Like I used to want to be a rapper, like bad, bro. So I always been a writer. I used to be like that too. I lost it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But like I wrote, like, you know, man, I did a lot. But it's like writing that book, bro. It's like I was just in a mode. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell people, like you said, like you got to just get it done. When it's on your mind, just get it done, bro. Right. So writing a book, it just came to me easy because I always stuck with it my whole life. So that's why it was so easy for me to do.
What's the gist of the book?
So it's like basically a motivational book for young males and young females. So anybody can use the book, you know what I'm saying? So if you on your purpose or you need some motivation, some inspiration, it's a short book because people don't like to read. So I made the book short as possible and you could understand it. To a fourth grader can read the book and understand and get some information and knowledge. So it's about my life with a little bit of motivation. So that's what made me do that. You know what I'm saying, bro? So that's it. You know what I'm saying? Already, man. We all working, man. I'm proud of everybody, man. We working, bro. And that's what we gotta keep doing. Stuff like this. Yeah, we might be at the ground level, but the thing is, bro, this right here is important because like everybody got a story to tell, whether you a bum on the street or whether you up here. Right. You know what I'm saying? So don't never turn your nose down on nobody.
You know,
we all got a story.
What's funny about that, me and my girl be having conversations about, like you said, like a bum on the street, and we be like, dang, people walk past these people every day, but they got a story too. Like, I don't know if she said she met a guy or it was a hypothetical, but we was talking about like somebody can literally have it all one day and something happens traumatic in their life and their whole life changes. And then people start to see, like, perceive them or view them in a different light or treat them differently. But it's like you don't even know his journey. So it's like, and those the people that you can really look to and really get all of the information from, you know? So it's like I was blessed, you know, with the next level position, but I was talking to the high schools and I was telling them, like, I know people that can retire generations of family, you know, but I also would treat them the same respect that I would treat y'all because that's what life is about. So when you say like you can get knowledge from anybody, it just kind of like sparked that memory in my head, and that's some real true shit. It's the real.
Yeah, the real,
Some of the
man.
most
I'm telling you.
most inspiration I've gotten is from people that was doing life sentences.
You see what I'm saying? Come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like they lost it all.
Man.
And it's like sitting there like listening to them and soaking up game. And it's like you like to the majority of the people, like you lost to society, bro.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Doing a life sentence, ain't nobody like maybe your family. Who
You
else?
seen that thing that Wallow said? He was like, most people are prison. It's more prisoners outside of jail than
Oh
they
fuck
are
yeah,
in jail.
absolutely.
He was like, people are like prisoners in their
mentally,
mind.
Mentally, bro. Mentally.
You know, and like that's why y'all doing a mental breakthrough with this podcast. Because most people like, nah, they get out there like, nah, I ain't
I ain't gonna do this,
you know,
man.
like nah. But look at look at the things that y'all been involved in, and look at the places y'all been going and not going.
Big fact.
That's just
That's it.
Coming.
so.
Always coming.
If you have an idea, listen to all of us.
Yeah.
Do that shit.
Do it.
Cause
Man,
you
do it, bro.
This is my
Not
favorite
worried
thing
about
to say.
we gonna start it.
You get one chance at life. You get one chance to be you. I get one chance to be Gianni.
Big facts.
And like you gotta maximize you, maximize your potential, maximize what you can do.
Big facts.
There's no limitations on what we can or cannot do. If you wanted to get the fuck up right now and go to Nevada,
You can
no
do it.
matter how it take you to get there, you
That's
could do
big
it. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
So don't limit yourself. That's just my TED talk.
Respect, man. Respect,
That's beautiful, man.
For sure.
I think it's about time to ask that
Yeah,
question.
it's about
man.
time because man, this shit just flowed naturally.
But
man. Go
before
ahead.
I ask that question, bro, well, you just gave a message. Damn,
Yeah,
that
for
was
sure.
your
Yeah,
text.
you know what I'm saying?
Never
I'm
mind.
telling you, yeah.
All right, man. So,
This the hell of a question, right? This the $1 million question right here.
$1
$1
question,
question, let's
man. Legacy, man. We all put here for a reason. We all put here for a purpose, man.
Right.
And we don't. It's not about what we take out of life. It's about what we put into life.
Right.
What we contribute to this society, man. What do you feel like is your legacy? What is something that you're building towards to contribute to society?
It's kind of hard to identify because I'm still learning. I know who Yahweh is. We have conversations, but I'm still learning who He is and what He wanted it to be. And I've been getting a lot of signs to sharpen up my knowledge and my education and my communication. I can articulate myself well, but on another level where it's like, nah, like it sticks in the head. And like a lot of my
Malcolm
mentors,
X.
a lot of my mentors be telling me. My mom been telling me. My girl been one of the biggest advocates about it too, and I'm just figuring it out right now. Growing up in the hood, you don't really understand the importance of legacy or importance of pouring into life. With me, it just I've been blessed that it came naturally. So now that I'm becoming into more and more of myself and I'm starting to understand, I had an answer for y'all.
Big fact.
Man.
That was real. Yeah.
Listen, shout out to UpNext podcast.
Oh yeah, shout yourself out, yeah.
And listen,
Yeah.
follow me on all social medias, alright?
Tell 'em what
My
I'm
main
finding, yeah.
Instagram is _G25. The podcast page is UpNext Podcast with 2 underscores. All of the links to all of my other pages are in the description, and also be on the lookout for Next Level. This is really big, and I'm really blessed and excited to be a part of it. And shout out to the Real Podcast.
For sure, man. Goddamn, love, brother, love.
Appreciate you coming on,
Alrighty,
man.
For sure.
And listen, and this is another episode of the
Real G.
Yeah. For sure.
If you're not on the real, you're not real.
There you go.
Bam.